That was perfect timing, actually. And now we get to take that lovely sentiment into our meditation time. And so I invite you to get comfortable in your chair. Take a couple of deep breaths and just allow your body to settle into this time and space where we get to let go of the outside and go inside for a little bit, breathing, relaxing, allowing the chair to support you. Knowing that this day we are focusing on the joy that lives in us. I refer back to the beautiful song we sang at the beginning, the Joy to the World, where that phrase, let every heart prepare him room. Let every heart. We need to open our hearts and allow that joy to live in us. And then heaven and nature will sing. Heaven and nature will sing. You know when you sing how your energy and vibration is raised. And so you experience more joy in that moment. So we let every heart prepare room for the knowing of the oneness of the Christed being that we are, that we come into Advent to celebrate, that faith and hope and peace and love, and today the joy. We receive this gift of joy more deeply as we pay attention to Jesus leading us into that place of joy, into that knowing of our oneness with the God of our being. And so I invite you to spend a moment thinking about someone that you are so grateful for in your life. Someone that perhaps brings you an incredible amount of joy into your life. And I invite you to feel that expansion of your heart as you think of this one. And we take this moment now in the silence, experiencing, letting your heart prepare room for the joy in the silence. You see, no one can take your joy away. Joy lives in you, as do all the attributes of God. And so when you know who you are, you know how precious and special that you are one with God always. There is no separation. And when you take that into your heart and you realize it, it helps you to feel gratitude. It helps you to be grounded in that knowing. And so this is the season when we celebrate that birth of the Christed beingness within each and every one of us, the increased awareness that we have of the oneness that we are. And so we say thank you, indwelling Spirit, for this sweet time of remembering, of celebrating, and of preparing that room of joy within our hearts. For this we are so very grateful, for these teachings and for this knowing. And now whenever you're ready, just bring your focus back into this room and open your beautiful eyes. awakening joy. I don't know about y'all, but I have a whole lot to be grateful for. A whole lot of joy in my family. It started on Thursday. I thought my granddaughter was going to be born on Thursday, but she decided she didn't like the 15th. She wanted to be born on the 16th. So we have a picture of it's Raylan Everly Kay. So they're actually spelling it Reylyn, and I know that they're naming her basically after my husband. Because my husband, who's been gone 4.5 years now, came to both of them in a dream just before she went into labor. And he was busy doing all the paperwork and getting ready for the new baby and preparing the way. I just know that. I know that he came to help this whole process because we were supposed to have her in the birthing center, and Angel's blood pressure spiked, and we ended up having her at Sarasota Memorial Hospital in Sarasota. So, but anyway, she is all about the love. I'm just telling you, we are in a love fest next door at my kids' house, and oh, am I blessed to have them next door, right? Mother and baby are fine, and everybody's doing good. So, you know, after 14 years of not having any babies, having a baby is a big deal. We had to like relearn everything, you know. It's like, and everything's changed in 14 years. There are all kind of things now that they didn't have when my first granddaughter was born. So anyway, Mila's also in love with her sister, and we'll have some more pictures soon. But anyway, that was our Friday, and then they didn't get to come home until Saturday. So that on top of the earlier part of the week, and we're in the newspaper today, thanks to Carmen. And we've put it on the bulletin board for people to see. We're in all the local newspapers as the church that helped out 60 children in the community. So a group of us got together. Carmen arranged it. Tracy did all of the paperwork and got it all organized. And then we caravanned over to Atwater Elementary. We normally sponsor 20 kids. This time they gave us 25 families with 60 children. And I didn't think it was possible because we got the list at the last minute. But you guys are miracle workers. I'm telling you, I don't know, but we pulled it off. And so my heart was so filled. The people in Atwater, it was palpable, the energy and the love and the gratitude, the gratefulness that they had when we all showed up there and unloaded Richard's trailer and Grant and Sandy, where are you? Grant and Sandy's car. Yeah, everybody pitched in. Cindy had a part of it. Wanda had a part of it. It was just great. It was just really great. All of us, it felt so good. And then, you know, the parents come, and each gift just has a number, and then the parents get to come while the school is still going on, and they get to take the gifts home and wrap them so they'll have something under the tree for their children. So we felt really good about that. So what's not to feel joy about in the holiday season when you're giving like we are giving? You guys continue to amaze me with your generosity. Some of you quadrupled what you normally would give. Some of you gave 3 bicycles. I mean, it's just like, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. You just opened up your hearts and your wallets and made this community a better place. And, you know, I just love you for it. So this is the last month of the year. We have spent the entire year working on all aspects of our life. And so this last Sunday of the year for us is expecting the good, and it's all about social life. And to me, social life is the community. I mean, that's what we did. We pitched in and we pulled it together, and it was a miracle. It was a miracle. And so we are continuing to expect the good. And we know, because we are all one, when we help one other person, we help the whole world, don't we? We help everybody. So we have an affirmation that we're saying, let's say it together. Today, I see the world as an ever unfolding gift. Don't you love that? When you're expecting the good, you're looking for the gift. And even the things that you didn't want to bring into your life, even if things happen to you like hurricanes or COVID or whatever, we know that something good comes from everything. That's the faith and trust in God that we have. Joy is such a special attribute to cultivate, isn't it? Did you see my little sign? Cultivate joy. Happiness can fade, you see, but joy is an everlasting thing because it is your birthright. And it helps when you're remembering that you're connected to the oneness of God. When you know the essence of who you are, when you see God everywhere in all things, that raises your joy quotient. It raises your vibration. And then it's easier for you to remember your joy. So I don't know, maybe some of you are, you have the positive attitude and you're in joy most of the time, perhaps. Maybe some of the others of you are kind of like the glass is always half empty. If it's not you, maybe you know somebody like that. Or perhaps you're one of those that, you have good days and bad days and you're still kind of rolling with it. But what we know in Unity and New Thought is that we can be in that place of joy when we learn the teachings and we learn how to keep our consciousness raised above the issue of the relative world. And so no matter whether you feel your joy has been deserting you recently, and some of you probably feel that, we can also recognize that our down feelings are perhaps just a mood, something that we can do something about, that we can lift ourselves out of it. But you see, we have to put forth the effort. And this is when we call in our power of will. So I'm taking you to Scripture next. We're in John chapter 16. You've heard this before, verses 23 and 24. Very truly, I tell you, if you ask anything of the Father in my name, he will give it to you. Until now, you have not asked for anything in my name. Ask and you will receive it, so that your joy may be complete. So it's important for us to ask so that we can receive. We can't just expect things to come to us. We have to have a desire. This is how we manifest. Mind, idea, expression. This is our Father, Son, and Holy Spirit in New Thought. We have a divine idea. We have something that we want. We have a desire in our heart. That's where it starts. And because the universe has your back, it wants you to bring it forth, right? So you have this divine idea, and then when you pray and you meditate and you use your unity principles, you get ideas through your meditation. You get guidance for how you can move forward and do that thing in your life that's going to make you happy and feel joy. And so then you follow the guidance, and the guidance leads you exactly to the place where you are able to manifest that thing in your life. But it takes willpower. It takes you having a choice and making a decision that this is what you want and this is how you're going to go about it. So you call on your power of will. This is principle 5 in unity, is taking it into action. And so that's what we do. We have the power to move from sorrow into joy just by putting forth a little bit of effort. It's up to us to move our feet. We can't sit and have pity party, right? We have to be thinking about and focusing on what brings good. Our co-founder, Charles Fillmore, has a suggestion. I love this Atom Smashing Power of Mind. It's an old book, but there's so much wisdom in here. I want to read you what he says we can do and take on ourselves. He said, instead of giving up to circumstances and outer events, we should remember that we are all very close to a kingdom of mind that would make us always happy and successful if we would cultivate it and make it and its laws a vital part of our life. Here is the first step. he says, in getting out of the mental cloud that obscures the light of spirit. Take the promises of Jesus as literally and spiritually true. Right in the midst of the most desperate situation, one can proclaim the presence and the power of the Christ, and that is the first mental move in dissolving the darkness. You cannot think of Jesus without feeling freedom and light. Jesus taught freedom from mortality and proclaimed his glory so persistently that he energized our thought atmosphere into light. And this light is spirit power. It can be seen and felt by anyone who will call on the name of the Christ and expect it to raise him quickly out of depression and negative states of mind into the power and zeal of an overcomer through Christ. So we have the power within us. We have that Christ spirit within us that allows us to transform our sorrow into joy if we choose to do this work. We can use the power of that indwelling spirit within us, that Christ within us. Talk about lifting spirits. I know Vivian has the Book of Joy. I don't know if any of you have seen Desmond Tutu and the Dalai Lama. If you go on YouTube, you can watch clips of them. So there was a movie created called Mission Joy, Finding Happiness in Troubled Times. It's a 2021 documentary. But what's so cool about this is if you Google them and watch them on YouTube, these two men, when they get together, they're like two little boys. And they laugh. They laugh like little children. And when you watch them and you hear that laughter, it's like it's contagious. They love to be in each other's company. Even though they were raised very differently, they find that joy in their relationship. And every time they get together, they have this incredible amount of laughter going on. It's just absolutely contagious. And some of the things that I took away from that was they talked about how the human brain is like Velcro, that our human brain likes to stick on the problem. We like to talk about the problem. We like to tell everybody our problem. Oh, poor me. Do you know what happened to me? Oh, my God. And then we just spiral down into this, dark place, right? And so we have to raise ourselves out of that. He says it's up to us to put into perspective the sadness in our life, because as humans, we will all experience some type of suffering. It's why we came here, to learn the lessons. So we're going to experience suffering, but it's all about how are you going to respond to what is going on in your life? How are you going to react to it? How are you going to show up in it? And it's up to us, they said, to turn our minds into an ally. Don't you love that? The Dalai Lama really liked it when Desmond Tutu said, "You will be surprised by the joy when you get beyond your own regard." He liked that so much. So we got to get over ourselves, don't we? We take things way too seriously. Way too seriously. We take ourselves way too seriously. We need to be more in the joy and laugh at ourselves when we do things. Also, the Dalai Lama said something to Desmond Tutu at the end of one of the interviews. And he said, "Even as I am dying, I will think of you." And of course, this is the point at which Desmond's been going through all kinds of treatments, and he's really, really frail. And he left the planet on December the 26th, 2021, not long after they put this whole documentary together. So it touched Desmond so much that he did not respond. He just smiled and nodded his head. It's just sweet. You need to go and watch it. If you want more joy in your life, you need to cultivate it. You have to put more of your life into joy. The more you use it, the more it becomes you. And it lightens burdens, it counteracts sorrows, it does away with depression. So don't postpone your joy. any longer, not for another moment. If you get I want to call it tap from Spirit, to send someone a text or an email and just tell them that they mean so much to you, or that they did something that helped you see something differently, do that. Because when you reach out and you touch other people and you build them up, it builds you up, right? It's the same thing. That's how you increase your joy. You have to let go of beliefs that support sadness and limitation, because it's just part of the relative world. God's Spirit is alive in you, and so you can be in joy no matter what is appearing in your life. Just choose it. Choose to be in joy. Joy is your gift from God. And you're here right now. You picked this particular incarnation to bring it into full expression. So the whole planet is counting on you. I read a quote the other day it just kind of stuck with me. It's from this lady named Michelle Ruiz. I have no idea who she is. But it said, because you know you have people like this in your life. It says, if people are doubting how far you'll go, go so far that you can't hear them anymore. You know those naysayers, like you have a divine idea and you share your divine idea and they go, nobody's ever done that before, or whatever they're going to say, right? So I like that a lot. So this is what joy can do for you. It can lower your blood pressure. It can lower your stress. It can lower your risk of heart attack. It improves your blood pressure. It boosts your immune system. It helps you focus better in your life. It improves your memory. It causes you to want to serve others. It makes you more grateful and content in your life. Makes you feel pretty amazing, actually, when you're in joy. Remember Norman Cousins healed himself laughing? Yes. Laughter is good. If we could only cultivate that kind of unwavering trust that Jesus had, to know that the Father and I are one, if we could cultivate that and remember that and live from that, we wouldn't even forget that joy is our nature. The late Chris Chenoweth has 5 simple rules to be joyful. 1, free your heart from hatred. 2, free your mind from worry. This is not an easy one for some of us. Live simply. Give more. And the last one, expect the best. I think personally we all just need to spend more time with children, because they are in the moment. They are in the joy. They are creating, constantly doing good for themselves and for everybody that's around them. We need to see that. We need to be that. We need to let our joy flow freely and effortlessly. Here we are coming to the end of our Advent season. It's been wonderful to celebrate faith and hope and peace and love and now joy. Today's daily word was joyfully I celebrate my oneness with God, and pretty much that says it all, doesn't it? We are birthing this new awakening of the Christ Spirit within us. That's what this whole season is about. And as such, we are grateful for knowing that we're ready. We're ready right here and right now. Okay, enough preaching. Time for a joke. Yes. All right. So, you're going to like this one. You're going to like it. When a father asked his little boy what he wanted for Christmas, he told his dad that he would like a baby sister. And it just so happened that Mom was expecting. She went into the hospital on Christmas Eve, and on Christmas Day, she brought home a brand new baby sister for him. So a year goes by now, and it's the next Christmas, and the father asked the little boy, so what would you like for Christmas? And he said, well, you know, I've been thinking about it. If it wouldn't make Mom too uncomfortable, I sure would like a pony. I can tell you, after what my daughter-in-law went through, there will be no ponies.
I literally almost had one kick me off.
Oh, really? Cool. Okay, so this is the last bit of it now. So I'm clearing out my things, and I run across this sweet Christmas card that I've had. I don't know. When y'all write sweet things, I keep the Christmas cards. I keep the birthday cards. And so this one, called Joy, is from Glenn Nelson, one of our founders of this church. And he wrote, Rev Donna, you spread joy wherever you go. I never can believe how lucky we were to get you and your beautiful family here. Wishing you a joyful Christmas and a new year full of promise. Love, Glenn. That's my wish for each and every one of you. A joyful Christmas. God bless. Thank you. Now is the time in our service when we get to give from our good into this community. And so if you're giving online, hello, our Zoom family, we're happy to see you. I did get to sneak in the office and say hi to a couple of them. Whether you're giving in the sanctuary or online through Breeze or PayPal, we are so grateful that we take our gifts in our hands if we physically have them, and we bless them with this blessing. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, that this is so.